this is Avalaura Gaither Bahari, the spiritual sage, and today I want to answer a question that I commonly get all of the time. What is Marabout spiritual healing? Or as a lot of you say, Marabout or Marabout, because it's a French word, you don't know how to pronounce it. So we're going to talk about Marabout today. Now understand, this could be a very long conversation, and I'm going to condense it in a matter of minutes, okay? So just understand that there's a lot more that could be discussed, but I am going to try to give you a lot of information in a very short amount of time. So if you have questions, feel free to contact me, www.avalaura.com, or you can certainly post your questions in your comments below, and I will answer you. All right, so Marabout is a French word, pronounced Marabout. It's a French word, and it literally means spiritual teacher or religious teacher. So a lot of people actually use it as a title. They call themselves Marabout. So you'll go to the Marabout for healing, okay? I don't call myself a Marabout. I'm Avalaura, you know? I gave myself the title healer, but I'm Avalaura. You know, we have to give ourselves titles in these worlds again, but I don't take all that so seriously. I do what I love. I do what I'm here to do. And so it can be a title referring, and a lot of times it's a title of respect too. Marabouts are people who have earned this title, okay? They have done the work to be considered a religious leader or a spiritual leader or teacher. They don't just call themselves that. They have literally gone through a process to be able to do that. So that's another reason why I don't call myself a Marabout, even though I have done a lot of work. I would not call myself that. So it can be a title, or it can actually be a system of spiritual healing. So literally meaning spiritual or religious work, healing, etc. So that's what Marabout means, and that's exactly what it is. It's a very ancient, very sacred system of healing using spirituality. That's what it is. And it's not a Western thing. That's why we're not familiar with it. The closest thing that I guess I could link it to here that you can kind of get a better understanding is shamanism. Although I think it's much more powerful than shamanism. I wouldn't even put it in the same class. I call Marabout the Bentley of healing. It's the ultimate healing because it works for everything. And I always think of Deepak Chopra's quote that there's a spiritual solution for every problem. And that's what Marabout is. It is a spiritual solution for every problem. Whether that problem is physical, whether it's mental, emotional, or spiritual, Marabout can help with that. Now, with that being said, I wouldn't necessarily use Marabout for everything, but it certainly can work for everything. And this is, you know, when I think about Marabout, one of the things that I talk about is energy, or understanding the level of the problems or the illnesses or the diseases that we have. And understanding that you have some diseases that are simply physical. Let's say maybe they're genetic, they run in your family history. It's an actual physical problem. So you go to the doctor, they can give you medication, or, you know, maybe you have to get surgery or whatever it might be, or you can change your eating habits, right? In the natural route, you can change your eating habits, or you can start exercising more, and the problem is gone. Then you have problems that their origin is mental or emotional, and that's where therapy comes in. So you need therapy to really correct your thinking and maybe some of the decisions that you're doing and some of the things that are going on, and the problem resolves itself. Then you have problems that are spiritual in nature. No matter what you do, you go to the doctor, you get medicine, you have surgery, you go to the therapist, you're getting therapy, the problem still exists. Because it's spiritual in nature. So it might end in one form and then change shape and then go into another form. When it comes to something like that, only something like Marabout is going to help. Because if it's a spiritual problem, it has to be a spiritual solution. It has to be matched energy. You cannot cure a spiritual problem with a physical solution. So let's say somebody does have a disease, you know, and this disease is actually a spiritual problem. It manifests physically because all problems end up manifesting physically, but it's actually a spiritual problem. No matter what you do here physically, nothing's going to help because it's actually a spiritual problem. Again, it might seem like the disease goes away, but then it comes back, or it does leave, and then something else happens, and something else happens, and so it's like a domino effect. Things just keep happening. And, you know, it's like, what's wrong with my life? Why do things like this keep happening? Because there's a spiritual problem that's going on behind the scenes that you're not even aware of, that's causing all of these problems and creating these obstacles in your life. So Marabout is excellent for that. It's the only thing that's going to work for that. But again, you can have an actual physical problem or a mental, emotional problem that Marabout can work with that too. So with that being said, how does it work? Well, really, think about before we had doctors and before we had medicine. Think about that time before modern medicine when you had healers, right? You would go to, you know, the medicine woman over here or the healer or whatever they were called, and you would get herbs, or they would give you advice, or maybe they would give you something to do, or you would get your dream interpreted, whatever it might be, because these were the people who had the knowledge to help you. That's what Marabout is. It's the same thing. This is something that's been going on since eternity, since we have been on this earth. This is nothing new. It's simply something that, and particularly in the West, we don't understand, because once we got modern medicine, a lot of these ancient ways of healing had been replaced with modern medicine. And modern medicine has its place. I will tell you, as a holistic practitioner, as a healer, I believe that everything has its place. So I'm not knocking modern medicine. Sometimes you need to go to your doctor and just get some penicillin. Fine. But there are other things that your doctor cannot help you with. And it's important to be able to differentiate the two and know when that is. Because a lot of you are spinning your wheels trying to do things conventionally, and it's not working. Because it simply cannot be handled that way. And a lot of you knock, you know, spiritual healing or these holistic ways of healing because you don't understand it, because you're like, well, I can just go to the doctor. But your doctor don't know everything. Your doctor is not God. Only God knows everything. Which brings me to Marabout. That's why it's so powerful. Because as a Marabout practitioner, what I am doing is tapping to God, the highest source there is, our creator, the one who has given us life and the one who can take away life, the one that knows everything. I don't know everything. You don't know everything. We're all limited as human beings, but God is not limited. There is a spiritual solution for every problem. So sometimes it's tapping into the right energy to get the answer to your problems. And that's what I'm doing. As a Marabout practitioner, that's what I do. And a common way of doing that is through prayers. So for those of you who ask, why do you pray so much? That's why I pray so much. I pray at least 3 hours a day. Yeah, every day. Yes. And this is important. There's a lot of other things that I've had to do to really purify myself to be able to do this work so that I can tap into that high level energy to help you to get answers to your problems and to help you to get the things that you want. And what are some of the things that Marabout is good for? I've talked about it. Certainly spiritual things. When we talk about entity attachments, when we talk about curses, and yes, this stuff is real. I know we don't talk about it in the Western world. A lot of people don't believe it. They'll say, just go to your pastor. Somebody will pray for you. Go ahead. And I'm not saying that prayer doesn't work, because trust me, prayer does work. But what happens a lot of times is prayer will bring you to somebody like me. God answers your prayers. He sends you to me so that I can help you. That's a lot of times what happens, because when you have these kind of problems, they cannot be solved in the way that we traditionally think. It's just not going to happen. So great for spiritual problems, but again, it's also great for, I have people who might have legal situations, or it might be people who, again, want to live their dreams. Maybe they have a big dream and they need help, you know, kind of getting out of their own way, or removing obstacles, or just making the path easier for them. So what Marabout kind of does is just clear out the path and allows you to just step into your greatness a lot quicker than you normally would, or in a very easy way, just line things up so that things just kind of work out very naturally for you. So it really is good for so many different things. You know, legal cases, court cases, disease, spiritual problems, you know, physical problems, you know. I have certainly helped people who have had cancer and illnesses that they've gone to the doctor and they simply cannot, there's no cure. So it works on every level. It works for all of these things. Now, it's not magic, okay? It's not magic. It's not a cure-all, but it really does work for every problem if you allow it to work. I know I'm making it, again, I'm very general with this because there's a lot that's involved. There's a lot behind the scenes, but I'm keeping it very general. So I just want you to understand that it is not this magical thing. It's not that everybody's looking for that magic pill. It's work, believe me. It's particularly a lot of work for me. It is work. But I just want to give you a good understanding of what it is, and know that there are other things out there that you just simply are not even aware of because you just haven't been exposed to it. You know, that's reality. There's so much out there. You know, the more you learn, the more you realize you don't know. And that's life. That's part of the beauty of life, is discovering new things that may have been out here all along that can help to answer your problems, and now you get to discover it. So for more information about Marabout, you can go to my website at www.avalaura.com. You can also find out more information about me. And if you want to get my free ebook, Power, that talks a lot about a lot of these videos that I've been giving you, a lot of these wonderful things, and get daily inspiration from me, you can go to spiritualsage.net/spiritual counseling and pick up that ebook, and then get wonderful inspirational videos such as this, and just stories and everything that I come up with in my brain over here. I look forward to seeing and assisting you. Until next time, wishing you peace, love, and bountiful blessings.